back home to me, where rivers are running free, through valleys as far as the eye can see. I'll be waiting on you till you're in my arms, a place that you can call your home. Come back home to me, shelter from the storm, I'll keep you safe and warm.
Okay, so we finished that. I set myself a half an hour timer. I only got to chapter 2, which is weird. I don't know why it took me so long, but I think I'm actually going to really like this book. So it's called Legacy, and it says on the back, a crown princess, a scandalous secret crush, and a kingdom on the brink of disaster. Quite excited I picked this one first. I do think it's going to be good. It's written in first person. I will keep you up to date on how it goes. I've got quite a few books that were gifted to me that I'm just trying to make my way through. This is the first one, and I'm thinking if I can keep myself in this fantasy genre world, it will just help with my own writing. So the goal for today is to write. I'm going to start the first draft of my new book. My last book, I don't know if you've seen my previous videos, I've actually scrapped it completely. I had a huge problem. I started using AI to help me with like name places, and then it came up with ideas and how do I solve this plot hole and where can this go, and in the end I was like, hey, what do I need to do to write it, to make this into like a 3-book series? It was a rabbit hole. I fell down it. It was awful and I hated it. And more than that, I actually found that I wasn't able to problem solve. So every time I came up with something, I would go to AI to help me solve that problem, even if it's in just normal day-to-day life, not in my writing. And at the end of the day, that's what writing is. It's creating problems, solving problems, creating problems, solving problems, and that's what makes the story. And I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to come up with new problems, and then definitely not able to solve them. And more than that, it actually started affecting my imagination. One of my favourite ways to waste my time is to put some music on and just daydream. Different scenarios, scenes, like you could be on a train and then suddenly you see like this huge battle take place when you're overlooking the fields, and things like that is a way I genuinely love to waste my time. And I couldn't do that. Like, it just wasn't happening. And then I was on my phone all the time, and it was awful for me. For me, it was awful. So I did something quite drastic. I did a walk from France to the other side of Spain. It was 1,000 kilometers, took me like 34 days. It was amazing, amazing. But it got me off my phone, and it got me just in my mind and in my imagination, and I've come up with some really what I think are fun and interesting ideas for my new story that I'm really excited to start. So today, the goal, just to get a really good start on this story and see how far I can actually push it. And then after that, I want to get into a new writing habit of writing 500 words a day. Every day, just to stay present in the story and get to know my characters, get to know the world and everything like that. So what, I'm going to make some breakfast. I need to go for a run because I signed up. So I went on this walk. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. But then I was like, I don't want those post-holiday blues. You know, when you're away for 34 days, it's quite a long time. So I was quite worried about how I would come back. So at the time, present Karina was like, past Karina was like, hey, I know what we'll do. We'll sign up to a half marathon. Do I run? No. Do I like running? Also no. But did I book it? Yes, I did. So now I have 10 weeks to train for this half marathon as well. Present Karina is not too happy with past Karina. But anyway, that's by the by. It's there now. I've got to do it. So I'm going to make some breakfast. I'm going to go for a run. And then we're going to start the day. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, I absolutely love the beach. It's just so calming and soothing for my mind. It also wakes me up. It is winter here in New Zealand, so it's also bloody freezing, which again I suppose helps wake you up. I'm also in the South Island, so it doesn't actually get light here in winter until like 8:20, 8:30, something like that in the morning. So it's a pretty late sunrise, but oh, beautiful. So one of the big things that's changed is I've actually moved into a caravan, which I am super excited about. I've moved to a different part of New Zealand now for work, but I absolutely love it. I've only been in here for four days now, I think. So I'm still getting used to it, how everything works, where everything needs to go. Obviously everything had to be downsized to fit in here, which took some work. It took some work. But I absolutely love it. It's small, it's cozy, it's got a really homely vibe to it. So I'm very, very happy. But with this, my setup has changed and my working space has changed. So I'll show you now. This is now my lounge. And there's 2 chairs. And they each have their own like little table that moves and swivels around. So I'm using one just for my keyboard, and the other one I bought this new laptop holder that I've never tried one before, so hopefully I like it. And I'm thinking I can just sit here, type, and then look at my screen over there. So it still gives me enough space because obviously I don't have my desk or my office anymore. So this will be my new office. Oh, I forgot the snacks. So this will be my new office space. I'm hoping as it's quiet, it's cozy, it will be more, and also it's right in the middle of my now house. So it might make me more likely to just sit down and write, because I will hopefully just leave this setup as it is. So this is my setup. I quite like it. I say that I haven't actually used it yet. This will be the first time. And I feel now that I'm sort of just babbling on and procrastinating. So let's get set up. Yeah, I've got some scene ideas for her and her adoptive family. They're not very nice. I think there's a few of them. We're going to have a few children that have all been adopted. Maybe there's like one who's biologically theirs. They're not very nice to her. Maybe one is like the least horrible, so she thinks they're a nice sibling, but they're not really. So that's going to be kind of like the beginning. And I am terrified to start because, as I mentioned earlier, I think that I've lost my imagination and my ability to write and come up with ideas, and I almost don't want to prove myself wrong. And I know if you think about something long enough, you start to make it true. So right, let's see how much we can write. Let's get on with this before we just keep babbling. Okay, I'm just going to set up a new Scrivener document. I'm still getting to understand Scrivener. Like half of it I haven't read or looked through. I used to write a lot in Word, but I'm sort of getting the hang of it now. I definitely haven't read through any of that. Okay, let's set up some scenes. Just to get started. So one of the things that I struggle with, and I come back and forwards from this all the time, is first person versus third person. I read both books, so I can't pick one that I like best. And I am now 817 words in, so I'm writing my first scene, and I've written it in third person, but now my mind is telling me go back and change it, put it into first person. Which I might do, but then I really have to stick to it. And this isn't live, so I can't ask for your advice now. And by the time this goes up, hopefully I would have written a lot more words. Definitely won't want to go back and change it then. It's so annoying. And I was listening to something the other day. Brandon Sanderson, he does a teaching lecture at one of the universities in the US. And he was saying that third person is the go-to for fantasy. But there's loads of fantasy that I read that are first person. And apparently first person is easier to write if you're fairly new. So I don't know. And I'm a little stressed now. But it's also something that I don't want to procrastinate over. But it will be a monumental change to go back and edit if I don't do it now. Like, it's not one of those things like a name that I could just control find and change all the names, you know. It would be huge. It would be if I had to go back and change it, and I don't know what to do. Because part of me thinks that first person is more immersive and the reader would enjoy it more. In third person, obviously, it's easier to show rather than telling with third person. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear the birds. They're nice. I think these are the parts that you're going to enjoy about living in my caravan. So we're now on scene 2. So we've started off, we are breaking into a house, we're doing a robbery, trying to set the scene of what is normal for Hazel. And now in my second scene, we're back home and I'm trying to establish more of her family life. I've made a separate document to keep up to date with names because I think I'm going to forget a lot of the family names, and also I don't want to repeat the first letter of each name because I'm hoping that way it'll be easier for people to differentiate between characters. I'm trying not to edit. I'm trying not to look back. I'm trying to just write. I really would like to get through almost this entire draft without any editing or going back, and just actually finishing it would be an absolute monumental occasion for me. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to need a separate document for names, at least to begin with, so I get 1, the spelling right, and 2, she's got quite a large family, and while they're not necessarily all important, they all will have a name, just for her immediate brothers and sisters, and I want to make sure that I'm not using the same letter to start the names, because I find that really confusing. Hello, Sarah J. Maas in Crescent City. When people start with all the same letter, especially when they're main characters, or at least they have a really big role to play. I get really confused with that. I don't know if that's a normal thing or if it's a dyslexic thing, but yeah, it really annoys me, so I won't be doing it. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So as I mentioned earlier, it is winter in New Zealand and it's 5 o'clock, which means it is dark and it is cold. I think it is now 5 degrees. So it is chilly outside. The heating's on. It's nice and warm in here. I've got a new cup of coffee. We are about to hit scene 3. My goal for today is to hit 5,000 words, which I think I will definitely hit. I'm just trying to think also, I'm not trying to think of tomorrow. We have to stay in the moment. And this is my problem. I get overexcited and then I think ahead and I don't focus on now and getting this done. But I would also like to set myself a big goal for tomorrow. Maybe I will do like another challenge, like 10,000 words. Maybe. Let's not get too excited. Let's focus on now. Let's do 5,000 words. That's like a chapter and a half. And I think it will really establish the story, where we're at, what our current like normal lifestyle looks for our protagonist, and set us up for tomorrow to hopefully turn that on its head and get some exciting, fast-paced scenes written. Hopefully. Let's have some music. I've recently got into listening to Bridgerton series. The Bridgerton playlist on Spotify has become my new like background. I don't know if I'm allowed to play it on YouTube because they like to ban everything, but this is what I'm listening to. It's the Bridgerton soundtrack because it's classically played modern music. I quite like it. Anyway. Okay, so we have just finished scene 3, which is where she goes to the shop. She's going to work, I have decided, in a garage. Her dad's going to own a, what do you call it? Like a car shop? Garage? So that's where she'll be working. So we've got our three scenes here. So that'll be chapter 1 done. We've established that's where she will show some sign of power or something like that. So then we'll know that something is different about her, although there have been these subtle hints that she's able to do things, which is why they use her. It's not known what it is. So okay, so we are done for the day. It's 9:30. I'm an early person, so I like my morning, so this is pretty late. This is pretty late for me. I didn't get to where I wanted to. I got to 4,148. So it's not the 5,000 word count that I was aiming for, but I think I've done really well. I'm happy with where it's at. I was juggling a few different things today, so I couldn't put my whole attention on it, which is a bit annoying. But I did the best with the time that I had, so I am pleased with that. I feel I've made a really good start. I feel I have a much better understanding of Hazel, our main protagonist, more of an understanding and like a filled out version of her family. I do need to get to know them better so that their dialogue, like they say, if you can take away the he said, she said and all the rest of it, you should be able to feel the person just by the way that they talk. We don't have that yet, but I'm sure that will come with time. I definitely feel like I've established her normal world, her known world. We're just getting into getting the new job, which will change everything and everything will turn on its head. But apart from that, I am really pleased and I think it's done really well. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the story turns into, what it turns into. And if I can keep that excitement, especially for the first part, just to get that momentum going and get some decent words on the page. So this is where I'll end the vlog today. I'm hoping to do a little bit of a challenge tomorrow. If I do, I will make that into another video and you can see how that goes. Alright, it's late. My brain is not braining and I'm gonna go to bed. But anyway, if you made it to the end, thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video.